And then you can see here if you want to adjust the column width because maybe you have more characters in the cell here than I do and it goes beyond and it's cut off. You can hover over the right hand side of the column header until you can see arrows pointing in opposite directions. Click and drag to stretch it, or double click really fast to do a best fit, and then click next. What label would you like to give for your lookup field? I'm going to leave it as manufacturer, and then you get two options down below. Do you want to limit the entries to the choices so they can only choose one, either Atlas, Hi-Tech, or Micron? Or do you want to allow multiple values to be selected where they can choose a combination of Atlas, Hi-Tech, or Atlas and Micron, or all three of them? If you don't choose any of them, it'll default to limit to list. So if I leave it as is, click Finish, it's limited to that list. So if we want to see what it looks like, let's go ahead and right click. On the tab to the table, go to Datasheet. Reminder, be sure to save it, say yes. And let's go ahead and go to the first field within our record. What I really mean is that the first field that I can enter data in, because the asset tag I can't. Remember, that's the auto number field where it automatically generates a number for each record that I enter. The first record is going to generate 1, then the second record 2, 3, 4, 5. If I'm not sure if that field is a field that I can enter data in, well, first of all, if I try to enter data in it and it's a field that I'm not allowed to enter data in, it'll let me know, especially when I try to save the record. But another indicator is that you can look where it says here, it says new. That means the auto number data type is only one that has the new in parentheses here to let the front end user know that, hey, just ignore here, just go to the next field where you can enter data in which case it's going to be the manufacturer. And instead of typing it in, you get the drop down or the lookup list, which you can go ahead and select it there. Or if you delete it, if you just want to type in M, automatically pulls up the rest, Icron. You can just go ahead and hit the tab key, and there you go. You cut down on your data entry time if you can just type in the first letter or two. And then for the date received, you can go ahead and type it in like 1/1/14, hit the tab key, automatically adds the 20 in front of the 14, or you can click back in here and click on the date picker and move around to find the date, like today's date. And then go ahead and go over to the next field, purchase price 1,000, hit the tab key. Then for the warranty, you can use the mouse to click on it, but if you want to keep your hands on the keyboard and not have to move your hand over to the mouse and slow down your data entry, just hit the space bar and it adds the check for you. And then when you're finished, there's numerous ways that you can save your record here. You can see over to the left-hand side in the row header, meaning that it hasn't been saved yet. You can either come up here and click on the Save button. That works. You can see the pencil has disappeared. Or if I come back here and update it, the pencil comes back. And another way to save it is you can go ahead and click on the record below if you have other records below, or even the new blank row, click on it, the pencil disappears and it's updated. In fact, this is bothering me. Let me go ahead and hover in between the two column headers here and double click really fast to do a best fit to see the date received, and double click to see the purchase price. Okay, let's go ahead and go back and do another change here. Let's do 1100. Another way to save it is holding down the shortcut keys for Shift and Enter, and that removes the pencil. Or you can go ahead, let's do 1400. After you make the changes, just close out of the table. So you can see it's at 1400 when I close out. Okay, it's going to ask me to save the layout. It's not talking about the actual number here, the data in there. So let me click cancel. Let me go ahead and click save so I can save the layout. Now let me update this and do 1600 and then close out. So it's not talking about the layout, and open it back up and see if 1600 is still there, and it is. Cool. The layout was when I stretched open the columns so they could stay stretched open here and it's not cutting off part of the text here for the column labels. That's what it was referring to when it was talking about the layout. Now, I don't recommend that you do this where you just go ahead and enter something in and then you close out of the database to save it, because if you're like me, that principle gets set in my mind. So in other areas of Access or other applications of Microsoft, when I close out and I don't save it, because I got used to the table here saving it for me, I could get in trouble. And then to go ahead and enter in the next record, let's say I'm just at the end of warranty and I hit the space bar, hit it again to remove the warranty, just hit the tab key, automatically goes to the next row, tab over to the next field that I can enter data in, and let's do A for Atlas, hit the tab key, type in a date, click on the date picker, choose another date, the 18th, purchase price, spacebar, shift enter, and there you go. We've got two records. And we just can keep going on and on and on, and know that you only get one row to enter in the records. keeps it organized. So that way, unlike Excel, you can't come down here to row 3000, enter a record there, and have all this white space or empty rows in between. It's really inefficient, not only for pulling up the database, slowing it down maybe just a bit, if a millisecond, but more especially when it comes to navigating through your records and being able to pull up your data quickly, or have them all organized and together and not separated by all these blank rows.